The future of hybrid cars is looking pretty exciting. A new report suggests that the popularity of these eco-friendly vehicles could increase even more in the coming years. But what's really interesting is how different automakers are taking different approaches to this new trend. So let us take a closer look at what is going on and see what we can expect from hybrid cars in the near future. First up, we've got Toyota, the big dog in the hybrid game. They've been around since 1997 and have sold over 12 million hybrid vehicles so far. But their approach to hybrids has been a little cautious. They're sticking with traditional hybrids, which combine a gas engine with one or two electric motors powered by batteries that KOE and be plugged in. Now, that might sound like a missed opportunity, right? I mean, everyone else is moving towards plug-in hybrids or fully electric vehicles, but Toyota says they're taking a more realistic approach. They know that not everyone wants or needs an EV, and they want to provide a better alternative to gas-powered cars. Plus, they're planning to roll out a bunch of new B-segment hybrids soon. And if that sounds boring, don't worry. It's actually really important because B-segment cars are small and affordable, making them a good option for people who aren't ready to go electric yet. But Toyota isn't the only one trying to keep things a little old school. Honda is also sticking with traditional hybrids, although they did just launch their first plug-in hybrid, the 2024 Honda CR-Z. But Honda is thinking even bigger, aiming to sell 500,000 electrified vehicles by 2030, including both hybrids and EVs. They're also joining forces with GM to co-engineer two new affordable hybrid platforms. These platforms will be used for Honda's own hybrid models, as well as those of other automakers. It's a great move because it'll help spread the benefits of hybrids to more people. And speaking of spreading the love, Ford has been working with Volkswagen to share their hybrid tech, too. This means that VW will be able to produce a hybrid version of its upcoming ID.2 model in Ford's Cologne plant, giving European customers another eco-friendly option. So why do these car giants prefer hybrids? Well, there are a lot of reasons. For one, hybrids can travel much further than EVs before needing a refill. And that's a big deal for people who don't have charging stations at home or work. Plus, hybrids are generally cheaper than EVs, making them more accessible to budget-conscious buyers. There are also some practical reasons. For example, hybrids can tow heavier loads and drive through deeper water than EVs, making them more versatile for outdoor enthusiasts or people who live in areas prone to flooding. But perhaps the biggest reason is that hybrids are simply more familiar and comfortable for drivers who are used to traditional cars. With a hybrid, the transition to eco-friendliness feels less drastic, which makes it easier for people to embrace sustainable transportation. But let's not get too comfy just yet. While hybrids have a lot to offer, they're certainly not perfect. One major concern is that their batteries can be harmful to the environment if not recycled properly. According to a study by the Center for Climate Integrity, most batteries end up in landfills, leaching toxic materials into the soil and water. Another issue is that producing hybrid batteries requires rare earth metals, which can have negative environmental and social impacts. And let's not forget that hybrids still emit greenhouse gases, albeit less than gas-powered cars. According to a report by the Union of Concerned Scientists, hybrids emit about 40% fewer global warming pollutants than conventional vehicles. However, they also pointed out that this advantage can be wiped out if the electricity used to charge the batteries comes from fossil fuels. Despite these challenges, there's no denying that hybrids are growing in popularity in the United States. Hybrid sales have increased by 180% between 2020 and 2022, with Toyota leading the pack. In China, hybrid cars are becoming a common sight on the roads, with brands like BYD offering affordable and high-quality options. And in Europe, where countries like Norway and Sweden are phasing out gas-powered cars, hybrids are seen as a necessary stepping stone, according to a study by the European Environment Agency. Hybrids accounted for 22% of new car sales in the EU in 2022, up from 11% in 2020. One company leading the pack in Europe is Volvo, which recently announced plans to sell only electric cars by 2030. But until then, they will continue to offer a range of hybrid models for customers who are UNWA to go fully electric. Volvo isn't alone. Many other automakers like Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and BMW are following suit, setting ambitious goals for their EV sales. For example, Mercedes-Benz aims to sell 1.5 million fully electric cars by 2025, while do plans to electrify 80% of its lineup by 2030. But that doesn't mean they re-abandoning hybrids altogether. They still investing in hybrid technology to offer customers a choice and to comply with regulations that require automakers to reduce their average emissions. And let's not forget about Kia, the South Korean automaker that recently made headlines with its bold plan to sell 14 million electrified vehicles by 2030. That's a huge goal that will require a massive effort from the company. Kia is already selling a range of hybrid and electric cars, but they need to ramp up their production and expand their charging infrastructure to meet their goals. Luckily, they have a solid plan in place, including partnerships with other companies, investments in new technologies, and a commitment to sustainability. In fact, Kia is one of several automakers that have pledged to reduce their carbon footprint by investing in green energy projects. For example, in 2020, Kia partnered with the World Wildlife Fund to support reforestation efforts in Indonesia. They also invested in a solar farm in China to offset their carbon emissions, and they launched a solar-powered EV charging station in Korea. Meanwhile, other automakers like GM, Ford, and Volkswagen are pursuing similar initiatives to reduce their impact on the environment. GM, for example, has set a goal to achieve carbon neutrality by 2040. They're investing in renewable energy, electric vehicles, and sustainable manufacturing processes. Ford, on the other hand, has set a goal to reduce its carbon footprint by 50% by 2030. They're reinvesting in battery electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, and reducing waste in their supply chain. Volkswagen, meanwhile, has set a goal to reduce its carbon footprint by 30% by 2025. They're reinvesting in electric vehicles, renewable energy, and improving the energy efficiency of their vehicles. These companies are not only motivated by environmental concerns, but also by business opportunities. The shift towards sustainable transportation is creating a whole new market for green products and services. Automakers that embrace this trend early on will be able to capture a larger share of the market and gain a competitive advantage by investing in hybrid and electric vehicles. These companies are also tapping into government incentives and avoiding potential penalties. Many governments are offering subsidies, tax breaks, and other incentives for automakers that produce green vehicles and reduce their emissions. But despite these efforts, challenges remain. For example, the production of hybrid and electric vehicles still relies on fossil fuels, which contributes to air pollution and climate change. Moreover, the disposal of hybrid batteries poses a risk to the environment if not handled properly. These issues highlight the need for greater collaboration and innovation in the automotive industry. Automakers must work together with suppliers, policymakers, and consumers to develop more sustainable and eco-friendly solutions. Looking ahead, the future of hybrid cars seems promising. Advancements in battery technology, electric motors, and other components are likely to improve the performance, efficiency, and affordability of hybrids. As more countries and cities adopt stricter emission standards, hybrids will become a more attractive option for consumers. Moreover, the growing popularity of SUVs and other crossovers bodes well for hybrid vehicles, as they tend to be more fuel efficient than their larger counterparts. However, the success of hybrids will ultimately depend on the industry's ability to address consumer concerns and provide a compelling alternative to traditional internal combustion engines. Overall, it is clear that hybrid cars have come a long way since their introduction in the late 20th century. They've evolved from clunky, inefficient prototypes to sleek, high-performing vehicles that offer consumers a practical way to reduce their carbon footprint. As the automotive industry continues to innovate and evolve, it is likely that hybrids will continue to play a significant role in shaping our roads and reducing our impact on the planet. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more informative content. Until next time, happy driving.